Hi, this is Tim Horning, and this is the first installment of Tuesdays with Tim. It's titled Cycles and Bubbles. Now, many of you know me as a movie buff, so occasionally I'm going to use quotes from movies to illustrate some of my points, just to have fun. Anyways, I'm also going to show you some standard real estate charts. They're very simple. I apologize for the simplicity, but I'm using those to illustrate some points. Winston Churchill had a saying that I'm an optimist. It makes no sense being anything but. With all this negative garbage we have out there, it's difficult to maintain an optimistic approach to real estate in your primary residence, even in your rental properties. However, we need to do that. We need to stay focused. There's a book out by the name of Aftershock. It's written by Robert and David Wiedemer and Cindy Spitzer. It's a brutal book, I must warn you. But I've been following these guys since 2006, and in 2008 they came out with Aftershock. They've been pretty accurate in their predictions, so we got to pay attention to them. It doesn't mean we have to just give up and go home, but they're talking about some specific things where there's opportunity at the end when some of these bubbles burst that they mention. The bubbles that they mention in their book are of course, the real estate bubble, the stock market bubble, the discretionary spending bubble, the dollar bubble, and of course the government debt bubble. We've got to pay attention to these and see the impact that it'll have on the overall investments and real estate in particular. In the charts that I'm going to show you right now, is take a look at them. You have the real estate cycle, and it starts with expansion, which we experienced from basically 1996 forward. Then it peaked. Eventually it peaked in probably 2005, 2006 time period. We had contraction, and then of course recession, and then we have the bottom, and we're not there yet, but eventually we will have a recovery, and we'll be back to the expansion again. Now, in addition, I have another chart I'd like to show you, and it has to do with the emotional side of things. So if you can take a look at that, starts with its emotional cycle. You have the optimism that comes with investing, which we started back in probably 1996, 97, 98. Then excitement, which eventually hit us in the early 2000s, and we had the euphoria, probably 2005, 2006. Real estate's never going to go down. Then, of course, when that part of the bubble was bursting, you had anxiety, denial, fear, desperation, eventually despondency. And we may be at that point right now. To illustrate this, I want to talk about a friend of mine that came in and basically described how he and his wife bought a home in 2003. They did some improvements. They refinanced in 2005, and everything was great, and they had good jobs, good income. He came to me about a month ago and related how eventually they ended up losing their home through a short sale, and their divorce was finalized last year. Now, he's basically at the point, I'm never going to deal with real estate again. I don't trust anybody that has real estate, so I don't want anything to do with it. In other words, I think, at least in his particular case, he's at the despondency stage. And there's many people that are there now and thinking, I'm never going to want to invest in real estate. It's ruined my life. And we have to be aware that this part of the emotional cycle, we need to overcome that and look at the opportunities that are going to be there. Because there's going to be opportunity for a lot of wealth building over the next 2 to 5 to 6, 7, 8, 10 years. We're going to be talking about the fundamentals in the next video. And here, the fundamentals basically are the cash flow from real estate, the tax savings, the principal pay downs, and of course the use of appreciation, which of course we haven't had lately, but there will be appreciation in future years. We have to get through these current bubbles, but we'll deal with those as it comes along. This is Tim Horning, and this is Tuesdays with Tim.